Bartender.
What are you drinking now?
Which one do you need?
He doesn't have his beer.
Bartender, help me out.
Alan?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Self, use towel next time.
Yeah, especially going over the computer.
Restart. All right, I'm ready.
All right. So, what do you drink? Welcome to What Are You Drinking Now, episode 38. We are here live again on Twitch, and bye, Nick.
Later, guys.
So, this week we're going to do, like normal, 2 beers, 1 wine.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea where Nick went. Oh, he went to get a glass. He was special.
I was almost ready.
So, on the beers, who's doing what? Who's got the lighter of the two?
I think we're gonna let Josh tee off.
Oh yeah. What do you?
Yeah. What am I actually drinking now?
What are you? Most importantly, what are you drinking now?
Yeah, this is the Dreamland Lager from Rogue Brewing out of Portland, Oregon. It is really good. Light, refreshing.
I had one last night at Fire.
Comes in a 19-ounce can, which is always nice. That extra 3 ounces really just seals the...
I thought that was really fun with that can. Really great packaging. Sorry I threw it away already.
Also, don't shotgun 19-ounce beers.
No.
I'm drinking the Delirium Tremens Red in a 16-ounce can. We're going downhill in the can
Nice.
size.
Working through our box of crayons. We got yellow, red. Well, I got orange here. Josh, I saved you a sip as well. We're just going to try it while we got it. Some Fortnite here. This claims to be a West Coast style IPA, Josh. What do you think?
It's close. It's close. It's
nice amber tone,
Close
some caramel.
via Raleigh.
yeah. No, I think it's a close. It's a good West Coast. It definitely is piney and vegetal and
It
flowery.
puts me in my flavor zone. It's
While we're
this is
speaking
good.
of Fortnite, just a quick ad. If you like the Doppelbock, the Anarchy from Fortnite, we have a really good special, $5 4-packs. We've got like 11 cases of it left. So
Yep. And if the Doppelbock's not your thing, we got a hazy IPA from them that is juiced and ready to consume.
Yep. All right, so let's get on to the beers that we're tasting. Who's got the lighter of the beers?
That would be me.
That's this guy.
All right, so Josh is pulling out a white bag.
I love when Josh pulls out the white bag.
Orchard Wit. Is that what we're looking at? Just pull the damn bag out.
What's this guy doing?
I really wish you guys could see this because he's just.
This is really fun. I'm gonna do that again and again and again. It's mystery beer, so he gives it to me in a white bag. I put the white bag in the ice bucket,
which made it a lot more difficult than I meant.
so that bag's
mad
now
that
about
you
50
guessed it.
pieces.
But if Nick hadn't said that this was in a bigger bottle earlier, I don't know how you guys would have thought I would have gotten this one tonight.
Yeah, we only have one bottle style like that, which that's very common to like Flemish sours and things like that.
So we have a lot of new beers in this week, and I very well
Josh will probably explain why the glass is
could
so
have
thick on
expected
this
some
bottle.
other IPA or something, but
I mean, you'll see this genuinely looks like a bigger bottle of beer, but it is just a 355, a 12-ounce bottle.
It's definitely thicker glass.
Yeah,
Which,
so there's some reasons, right?
Well, it's indicative of the European styles that it comes from.
Especially sours and wilds and farmhouses.
is this a farmhouse?
Brett's.
This is a lot of stuff. All right, who wants the last little bit?
Oh, let's do it. Let's send Nick over the edge. Oh, look at that. I got the stuff. Look, a little cloud there, some particulate. Just slightly cloudy, not a lot of particulate. Probably.
Ooh, that's my style
some
of beer.
yeast haze. Josh
so,
is probably what I got there.
when I saw this, I knew I had to try it because I haven't had it yet.
I haven't had it yet either. I'm glad you picked it.
I'm not a huge fan of wit beers, but everything else about this is one of the reasons why I picked it. It's from the brewery Tarot. So the brewery, effectively, they don't make bad beer, so you know it's gonna be good. This is a tart wheat beer brewed with spices and aged in an oak foeder, which is like a storage container. Akin to a cask, but an oak foeder is like a really big cask.
Gosh. Foeder can pour directly too. Like you can have a foeder at the bar, right?
Yeah, it's like a oak fermenter kind of thing, but you don't ferment in it, but you can. You know, it's a whole thing. So we're looking at 5.7% alcohol by volume. There's also 3.3 grams of lactic acid in each bottle, which is very
Awesome. I had no idea like what to expect. I mean, the nose gave me a small indication. I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised, and I've been kind of missing a taste like this.
This is
Guys,
this is a straight up Belgian style beer. I can tell you.
This is the original sour. Before we talked about ghosts getting hip and all that. These Flemish beers, man.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good.
What price do you have on that thing?
You might have to bump that up. I don't think you priced it.
$5. This is ridiculous. What? Like, this is something like this taste and stuff. I'd be expecting to pay like $7 or $8 for.
Do they use Brett in this?
I don't think they use Brett. A lot of that because you don't get the crazy funky.
No, it's just kind of a slightly sour and tart.
You're supposed to leave the yeast behind in the bottle. I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, look at that. He dumped yeast in my glass.
Yeah, but it is bottle conditioned because there's yeast in the bottle. Like this is
Well, it went down to the bottom of my glass pretty quick.
This tastes like a straight Flanders style.
Yeah.
Probably kettle sour.
You do have the
lactic
non
acid added in.
good stuff.
This is damn good.
Solid.
So I like what they're doing with the lactic acid here. They've taken that lactic all the way through. So we end up with this tart note. Not a milky, sugary, milkman's here, ice cream truck's here.
It's a little more aggressive acidity than you'd find in the Belgian style, so you can definitely tell it's an American take on the
It is
Belgian
like
style.
almost like cider-like acidity, which gets to the name of the beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you first picked this up, I thought it was like a wit beer crossed with a cider or something.
But you can taste the oak foeders, man.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the oak a little bit. Comes through on nose, almost soapy.
Yeah. Instead of like the rich vanilla that you get from like oak cask and stuff, and the torching stuff, oak foeders aren't torched. They're just oak, so you end up with a really porous, woody material holding it in there, so you get like layers of. It's good. This is just good.
I'm a huge sour fan, and this is probably one of the best I've had this year. Granted, it's only
This is definitely the
February, but
style
it's still
sour that I'd like.
It's gonna take a lot to beat this.
Yeah, this is solid.
I feel like
solid.
when we made that Flemish red Brett a while back, some of these flavors are what we were going
When we
for.
took the wine, like the oak sticks and the wine barrels and shredded it
Yeah,
off.
we did the like the black barley steeping grains or whatever.
Yeah, the
On the
patent malt,
Caribbean.
and then we also used a little bit of rainwater in the brew kettle. It was a crazy day.
That was, yeah. That's a little different than decoction, huh?
It's
Man,
very-
that's solid.
It's a really good beer. It definitely is different.
I'm a huge fan of those Flemish styles.
Yeah, you gotta really be open to these tastes, but there's no reason not to be.
I like the balsamic coming through on that.
Vinegary, but not
It's like the white balsam.
unpalatable. Like vinegar, you could maybe like taste a little.
No, balsamic normally comes a little sweeter and a little thicker
Yeah.
almost. So I mean, it's
Got some caramel characters in here. Nowhere near like what my IPA was putting out, so it's maybe kind of overstepped the malt with that one.
The nice thing is though, it definitely has the body and like backbone flavor of a wit beer. You know, when
This-
it's brewed with that like.
This beer
coriander.
made this beer smell like pine sol. Like this is so tart and to the point. It completely dragged my taste buds over there. When I went back to the IPA, which is just a nice West Coast hop, I thought I was up in a pine tree.
There's a little bit of tannin in there from the oak too. Just a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah, just
man.
even it
That's
sticks
really,
with you.
I wish I didn't like that so much because I drink that very quickly.
This is
Man,
I'd be curious to know if they do like a red version or something like that.
yeah.
there's gonna be a version of that going home my 6-pack tonight.
I tell you what, one thing you gotta get Ude Gutse in here, which is the Belgian one where they take basically a style like this in foeders, take a young one and an old one, and they blend them together, and they bottle it. That's good. This is good.
Yeah, that for a brewery out of California to make a Flemish style like that, man, that's quality.
I don't even want to use my palate cleanser.
I did because I'm drinking the Tremens is it's not a Flemish, you know.
I think it's
Sour,
like
It's a Flemish beer.
I think it's a take on like the whole Flemish red thing, and it just goes with like a sweeter candy-like taste rather than sour tartness. Went with like more like the confectionery sugar taste.
It tastes like if it was.
But I
like,
think the play off, really bouncing back and forth from the sweet and that's fun.
That was fun going.
If it was a darker beer and it was aged a little longer in the foeders, it would be an Ed Broom, which is basically what turns into the and against it. But that is awesome. That is one of my favorite styles of beer right there. Holy crap!
Yep. Glad you picked that, Josh. Glad you picked that.
Every now and then I do something right.
It's about time.
No. All right. So which one are we doing for you, Mister?
By the way, did you guys get the joke on the Tarot? Like I know it's like a family name, but it's like
terroir.
yeah,
So are we doing that guy?
yeah. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. So we just got this in today. I almost didn't bring
That's
it in.
nutritional yeast at the bottom of that bottle, right?
Will it actually help you? It's been proven that if you take a spoonful of yeast before a night of drinking, it will help you
Digestive enzymes.
deal with the hangover the next day.
Woo! That had a neat sound to it. Just that classic sound. So, I mean, there's an obvious company that comes to mind when I look at this can.
Yeah, I almost didn't get it because of that.
Ooh.
But it's Sycamore.
Mhm.
That's a 5.7.
And so,
I have a little one too.
I'm not going to mention the company, but I'm sure, I don't know, they got similar colors to like a Baskin Robbins or something.
Or a Dunkin'.
It might have been the same parent company at some point.
Dunking.
Might have might have been a company he wasn't going to mention.
I said dunking. Like LeBron
We'll dunk
James.
you.
Dunk you.
Oh yeah, like give me the basketball so I could dunk it. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. John Tesh loves my version of his song. I actually got that from Saturday Night Live, guys. I'll skip the whole joke. You guys look it up on YouTube.
Man, that pours like thick, like motor oil.
So this is funny. Nick is not normally like, give me a dark beer. After all this boo-hooing on these Nipas, I feel like I'm knee-deep in Nipas. We had a little joke going about that.
That smells like I'm walking into an unnamed
Yeah,
establishment.
which
Well,
they
let me
don't
get-
have as good a coffee as we do.
But goodness.
But it is an unnamed
Okay,
establishment.
so I am blown away right away. There's something I didn't expect in here, and I probably should have. If I'm from the Northeast, I probably would have thought of this right away.
Mhm.
But I grew up in the Midwest, where Dunkin' Donuts is known for donuts, not Dunkin's coffee.
Yeah.
Now Dunkin' has become like a coffee place, right? This
Well-
has got coffee flavor in it and
And
donuts.
the funny thing is you go in there and you can't really get like. They don't have a variety of coffee choices. You have
Yeah.
4 choices, and if you want to change from that, you can't.
Well, the thing is, it's like when they came out east, you know, and the southeast especially, it's like we have Krispy Kreme,
Yeah.
so your donuts may not be the selling point anymore.
All right, so
Iced coffee
it
is.
says loaded with fresh baked donuts by Suarez, and then it says a baker's dozen fresh out of the oven, and all of the donuts new. Time for the party, so into the mash with the coffee and chocolate too.
So there is coffee in here. All right, so I'm not going crazy.
And I was gonna say, I almost taste like chocolate, but
It's
like
it's
chocolate
well,
icing,
It
like
says
from a
it's
donut.
a chocolate donut stout.
I mean, this smells amazing.
Literally dunked.
Literally smells like I'm about to eat a donut and drink a cup of coffee.
You know, my favorite donut that they have there though is the chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate's a good donut.
So that-
Blueberry cake is one of mine.
So
but
that icing,
similar to
that
donut
chocolate
type.
icing you get there on the nose.
That's what I thought. That's what I tasted.
Yep, I'm getting that and coffee.
Let me see if I still get it.
Mm.
Guys, a little trick here. Taste is trick. If you think it's just overpowering, Josh and I are always talking about your retronasal. Why not just cut off the breathing?
I need to try a second sip of that because that first one didn't hit right.
I would say that aroma plays a lot into how this flavor comes out. Aroma's playing into it huge. It's almost playing a trick on the palate. When I
Right.
did that hold my nose test, honestly, the chocolate, all that disappeared. All I got was coffee and malt.
Definitely not a milk stout.
No, not milky.
One thing I will say that I always find funny about coffee and chocolate stouts is like you can tell when they use like actual coffee beans and almost nibs, because when you combine those two things in something like this, it almost has like a cola-esque.
Do you get that in this?
Just a hint of it, you know, like a little bit, but it's like almost like a cola-esque hit there for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting the coffee on the palate. And then right at the back end, it seems like it's trying to get chocolate to me, but it just can't quite get it.
So I think it's nibs.
So that's why I say try one. You know, cut your aromas off. Try this, then do it again and see if that chocolate comes bouncing back, because that's really the first thing I noticed come bouncing back. So I think that chocolate taste is somehow just kind of tied in with those aromas for us.
So I mean, there are like actual donuts in this.
That's what they say.
Is that how they like built their malt? That'd be crazy.
I just can't see throwing donuts in the mash.
I've seen people throw weirder things in beers.
So, for a flavored stout, this does not have that overly artificial taste. This has a nice beer malt backbone.
It's surprisingly light.
For a 7.5 Imperial Stout.
Well, it doesn't. Does it say Imperial on there?
What does it say, Rob? On the...
It doesn't say Imperial.
Okay.
It just says chocolate donut stout.
Yeah.
But it is 7.5.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking they were trying to call it Imperial, but 7.5 is just a tall stout. And
But I gotta say, like the flavor profile of the body is relatively light.
ooh. Oh, those donuts are talking. Oh, whoa! Whoa! I think we got a belcher here.
Yeah.
Wait, is that chunks of?
I was wondering if that was just mine
Now,
from
if
the
there were
yeast.
bubbles, they'd be gone. Is that a chunk of a donut?
No.
I didn't know if it was just the yeast showing through from the last one on mine, because you bottom poured, but if you guys are getting a similar floaties,
Are you? You see that, Rob?
are you guys getting floaties? They look like icing or donuts or.
I think that's donut particle.
No.
Particulate.
How the hell do you add donuts to beer? We had another one where they added cookies. Like,
I don't.
do you food process them and then add it? Like, what do you just throw, like, just jump a dozen donuts in this boiling pot?
So I'm
Do
kind
you
of
reduce
torn on this
donuts
one.
down to a reduction and then?
I'm not so sure that this one's sitting right with me. So I get a lot of coffee. It's not, the more I drink it, it's not as bitter on the coffee. The coffee kind of rounds out. But at the same time, it's overpowering any of the chocolate.
The coffee is a little heavy on it. The chocolate comes through definitely towards the middle and the back end of the palate, but I mean the chocolate is taking a back seat to the coffee.
Yeah, why are they saying chocolate donut stout and coffee is like clearly the first thing that's coming out for me?
Yeah.
Depending on the kind of coffee, you can get a lot of chocolate tones as well.
Is it fair to say this is the only chocolate donut stout you guys have had?
I believe it is.
Yeah, because we haven't had the Rogue Voodoo donut before.
Really. They have a Rogue Voodoo donut.
Kind of a legendary beer.
Yeah, and do you know what Voodoo
They
Donuts is?
They were the ones that did the bacon maple donut.
Yeah, that's
Like,
their flagship donut. Voodoo Donuts is a
Like
donut bakery that is all night. And you can get pints while you're in there. This is really cool. It's right next to a bike messenger place in Portland, in the downtown. So it goes all night. These bikers are in there with their fixed gears, ordering custom donuts. But the bacon maple is the one.
Bike
they put on the
messenger.
scene. Yeah, in Portland. Hey, I got the gloves for it. Like, give me a hat.
Because texting is not a thing in Portland.
No, like, yeah.
Text messengers.
Like, Yeah.
Grind from person to person.
Yeah.
The letter. Phil says hello.
That's how we pass the word in Portland. Jump on your fix tea and tell your
Start
tiny
up
neighbor.
idea right there.
George wants to know what you're doing tonight.
So much for the town crier. We got the town peddler.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, moving on.
Overall, glad I'm trying it. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it came in at $4 a pint.
I think there's a lot of people who are still looking for those dark flavored stouts and porters and stuff. And I just want to let you know we got a new one in. So come check it out.
It's good.
And it's 7.5. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a punch.
I mean,
It's a belcher.
no 7.5.
It's definitely a belcher.
7.5 at a 8.8.
Yeah, pretty damn close. 5.6.
Out of 6.7.
Okay, so tonight we are doing a third in the series, I should say. So we've had two other wines from this this winery. This is the Delta Winery. Tonight we're trying their California Pinot Noir. Wines for environmental change. That's their slogan. So here's the thing. We have speculated on both of the previous wines that they were sourced. They're not, these grapes are not grown by the winery themselves. I've actually confirmed that they do source their wines or their grapes from around California. So they don't have their own vineyards. So I'm willing to bet this is going to be a fairly extracted Pinot Noir, just like most popular California Pinot Noirs.
I would say this right here will yield the answer.
I'm really just the whole theme with this and the wines for environmental change, Delta. I really feel like they're a winery that's in the Silicon Valley.
That's a.
What does it say they actually are?
Healdsburg.
We'll look it up on the map.
Healdsburg, California.
We'll just check it out. But
13.5% ABV.
encourage you guys to check it out too.
$17 a bottle on the Pinot. All right, so on the nose, it's extracted.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come across to me. I'm just guessing it's going to come across a lot of juice, a lot of berries,
Cranberries.
It is up in wine country, just up the highway. So it is north of the bay. It's not down in the bay like I suppose.
Yep. So this is not a dry French style structure
No.
of a Pinot Noir. This is now I must say that to me, first blush, it does not have a lot of the heavy fruits that I'm expecting in the overly extracted Meiomi-esque Pinot Noirs.
Mm-hmm.
It has been extracted a little bit, but I don't think it's pulling a lot of the raspberry, blueberry, jam, tasty berries out of it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do agree is that there are some tannins still present.
There are.
Russian River.
A lot of the times with like heavily extracted wines, the tannins just kind of disappear, and
You're right.
you
You're
end
exactly
up
right.
with, you end up with grown-up juice.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
exactly right.
But there are tannins present. There's not a lot, but they are there.
Did you guys-
I do like that.
Did you guys take a visual at that meniscus?
We did. Earlier we were.
Sorry, I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
on the map there. I just wanted to confirm that Heddelsburg or Hellsburg, that is Russian River Valley. Okay, so just north of the bay.
But that's not necessarily saying that this is where the grapes come.
That is not.
That's
I
just
just
where
wanted
the
to talk about
winery
where the winery. Yep. And as we know, they're a winery in a town. They're not a vineyard in the country.
We spent years working for one of these, Nick.
That's right. And I did trim the vineyard at the non-vineyard winery. So oftentimes, even wineries that source work with vines. And this is one of those hidden things. the vintners who are the winemakers who are sourcing grapes, they'll look at their own vines just to see the indications of the year. They'll study their own vines in and out, and they'll know what to look for in other grapes that they source.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I'll tell you what, I've never had more fun than hanging out there in the vineyards.
Oh,
Flannel
dude.
shirt unbuttoned,
Oh.
breeze blowing.
just mind the ant.
Yeah, well, you
watch
always
your
look
step.
down because fire ants aren't a
Watch
thing.
your step. The bees
So
won't
was
get
it-
you,
was
but
this
the ants will.
The breeze blowing through your coiffed hair.
Actually, I didn't have a coif. I had about like a foot and a half of hair, and it would blow. Wave at
Guys,
people
I'm not
as
gonna
they
say-
drove by.
I'm not gonna say
Were-
socks in a box, but it's got this
Were you riding
familiar.
a horse with the wind blowing through your
No
your
horses.
luscious long blonde hair,
Yeah,
your
no.
shirt billowing open?
No, there were no horses, but the golf cart was parked at the end of the.
So you weren't the cover of a romance novel
Depending on the angle.
Like, I'm trying to hit this right on the nose. It's not quite socks in a box.
then. So if you haven't noticed, Josh is not wearing a hat tonight.
Yeah.
He's letting his big boy hair grow out.
Yeah, you know, this
Actually,
whole
you know,
stuff.
he's got the nice haircut
Socks in
going.
a box. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Socks in a box.
Yeah.
Describing wine.
Yeah.
You know, it took me 45 seconds to register that. Socks in a... elaborate, please, now.
So,
Wait, did you say this smells like socks?
it's not
box?
quite socks in a box. I'm trying to place it, but like,
You talking about the nose?
I'm taking my wet wool socks and I'm throwing them in a brand new shoebox, okay? And then I'm just letting them dry out inside the box. So the box is gonna get a little wet. The new glue, you're gonna smell it. The wool socks themselves. It's not quite there, but there's some things I'm just trying to really find. It's not leathery.
There is lead in your pipes at your house.
You know, he even described it. And I'm still like, socks in a box.
No, I get the socks in a box, but like wet wool socks in a...
In a brand new
Shoebox?
shoebox. Yeah, who would
That's
right
damn
line would do
cardboard.
That's damn okay. You saw through my yes.
I mean, you might have 5 seconds of fresh box on a wet sock. And then
Don't get the sock
And then
wet
it's sock
before you get the
box.
box wet.
Well, then,
That's
then
one
it's
of the
like,
keys.
Then it's soggy box and damp sock, and no one's happy at that point.
Well, it's not quite that. Like, I think this is still leaving us happy, but it's got these deep.
Sock in a box.
As no one steals the show.
No, I don't get the socks in a box when I smell them.
I don't. I am saying it's not.
Then what? Bro, never mind.
It's,
Never mind.
I do not smell any socks. I do not smell any socks in this
I
box.
do not smell any socks in this box. This is right. Do you get a little? I'm not trying to come down on this, but I'm just trying to place that. Do you get a little wet cardboard, or do you?
I don't get a lot of cardboardy. I
Okay.
mean, if I get any cardboardy, it would be fresh, clean cardboard.
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, that's where I got the new shoebox from. But I just wanted to clear that up. That I'm not saying this wine
talking
tastes
about,
like cardboard.
I'm talking
so.
about the unfolded box you just bought from us.
I worked at a carton plant. They made boxes for like snowmobiles and all this. There is a freshness to a freshly printed box, not even folded yet. The glue hasn't even set. There's just a freshness to it. I'm convinced that's where the smell of the fresh tennis shoes comes from. A box factory's got to be the best smelling thing in the world.
You know, I opened a deck of cards the other day and it smelled like Best Buy.
Yeah. Yes. What? Now you know why people are doing these unboxings. They're just getting high off the fumes.
It's not bad wine.
It's not.
I'm at a loss. Can we go back to the?
If one of you guys can place what that aroma
Can we
is.
go back to the going donuts and revisit the wine later? Because I'm just lost.
I will admit that I think moving from a really donutty, it's not bready, it's donutty stout, into the red wine might have been a big enough a jump.
Shoelaces.
All right. new shoelaces.
Yes.
Like the alternate shoelaces that come with the new shoes you just bought.
Mhm, yeah.
You're like, should I go with blue or should I stick with the
In
black?
the really weird shaped Ziploc bag.
Like new. I guess what I'm getting at is just the smell of like new packaged goods.
Yes, new packaged goods. That's
There
the
we
smell.
go.
Bam.
Okay.
We figured it out.
Okay. So, let's review what we've had to drink tonight, because obviously somebody else has been drinking without Rob,
And raspberries.
because they've been, and you just got off work. So,
This is not alcohol induced. This is stress induced. I blame my boss. He's been putting a lot of pressure on me at work.
he has he? So, anyway,
It's just
Stay-
good.
stay
Hey,
tuned.
it's just good to enjoy a nice sip of wine with my friends.
Yeah. Just stay tuned.
Alright.
Stay tuned. Next we have the therapy hour.
okay,
This is par for the course with Delta. This is highly drinkable wine.
All right. So first up,
This just has great flavor.
first up tonight we had the Orchard Wit from Brewery Tricks. Teru. I'm
There we
sorry.
go. Trex.
Brewery Tricks.
Teru.
How come it
So
sounds
they
like
have
meat
tricks
drapes when I say it?
Josh, why don't you start us off with this guy?
All right. This beer completely floored me. There we go. I got the label right. I always do it backwards. Sounds weird. Really good. Oh my god, this is amazing. So many flavors. It's like nailing that Belgian, just rich, like funk and oak and lactic sourness, and but still maintaining that American taste that I know it is brewery. This is easily 2 thumbs up for me. Like, if I said anything else, it would be a disservice to this beer. This is phenomenal, especially for the price point for $5 a bottle. It is hard to go wrong with this. If you like anything, like if you like wine and you're looking for beer, you know we've always said sours are the one you start with. This is another good one to try. If you like sours, you will not hate this. You will love it. If you don't like sours, this is accessible enough that it might be one that I could do those.
I really thought this was a great way to get to know sour. I want to say that.
All in all, it's a win-win situation for everybody. Plus, the ABV was higher than I was expecting with that. What was it, 5.7?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the times with these kind of beers, you might have a lower ABV, but I guess the voters probably did some good. This is ridiculously good. 125% excited about this.
So for me, I'm going to have to disagree with Josh completely. No, I'm lying. I'm going to agree with him completely. This was phenomenal. I think this was probably the best of the sours I have had, and I drink a lot of sours, guys. This is probably the best sour I've had since the Duchess, which I last had a Duchess Cherry
On the
last
show.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our first episodes, if you want to check it out.
The Duchess will always be first. But
I feel like Carnival, Duchess on her shelf, 2 amazing sours. This almost outdoes the Carnival.
Yeah, I am glad we discovered this. It is a fantastic ale, or wit in this case, sour.
Cool naming.
I mean,
Orchard,
yeah.
right on point. It had fruitiness.
It definitely
Yeah.
did. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs. If I had any more thumbs, I'd probably give them those 2.
Where you hiding?
Like I said, if I had more, I'd give them. So, Nick, how about your review of that one?
Now I read thumbs at the office. I thought brewery was really nice. Like I was saying, it reminds me. Rob mentioned the Duchess. I mentioned the Carnival. These are 2 top flight sours we have. One imported, one is North Carolina, right?
D9.
D9, yeah.
Is D9 North Carolina or South Carolina?
that's North Carolina, Cornelius.
Okay.
Cornelius Davidson area,
And
really
so,
to be appropriate, but
What's this, Cali?
Yeah,
I think
that's
they
Cali.
said. Yeah, so this one is right up there. This is a top flight in terms of looking at sours on our site. The drinkability on this is amazing. The tartness is so friendly and brings you back in for more. Doesn't scare you off and sour you up. You get a little I saw us doing little twitches, little looks.
Yeah,
That's the tartness. It
yeah.
just gets you. It's real. It's there. It's fruity in that tartness, but it's not a fruit beer in any way. There's no fruit ingredients in this that are throwing me off. The oaking. Let me just get to this. It's lightly oaked. That fodder is not doing
Don't worry.
to it what oak stouts are doing, what oak barreled wine is doing. It's not doing that same thing. It's just doing something very light and just moving that flavor into a way, subduing some of those sour tones. The lacto comes through as a tart sour and not a sweet. So if you like sweet beer, prepare yourself. If you like those sours, those bitters, those tarts, this thing is going to be your new favorite beer.
I think it did have just a slight bit of sweetness, but only from a balsamic vinegar aspect. When it comes to Flemish style, to me, that's what draws me to them is a balsamic aspect to them. It is a little bit vinegary, but it's a little sweeter on the vinegar.
That is Pinot. That's the first sip of this that I took that was just authentic.
So, what were your rating on that?
That's a thumbs up, man. That is a solid thumbs
One
up.
out of
I'm not
one
going
for
to
you?
look for more thumbs. That is a solid one thumb up out of possible one thumbs up.
All right, so I'm going to take Nick's other one, and Josh, I'm going to split that and give it 2.5.
I told you.
No, yeah, 2.5 for us. One
Now
for
my
Nick.
boss is breaking me my thumbs. You see what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, folks?
So,
100% positive on that one. Good.
so Nick, here we go with yours.
So it's cool.
Sycamore
Check it
Golden
out.
Donuts.
I like it. It's something different. We've been trying to dig through all these New England IPAs, trying to distinguish them. I feel like the best way to realize what those are about is stop drinking them for a minute and try something else. And so, man, flavored stout coming in late in the season, really digging it.
That's a good point.
I'll go. I'm gonna give it like a 3/4 thumb up, and I'm gonna leave like I could have had this other thumb up. It's not quite imperial. I was thinking maybe if they did imperial, it would have really like took it over the edge.
You know, if they would have gone imperial on that, it probably would have brought more sweetness in.
Yeah,
The
tucked in
chocolate?
next to that coffee better too.
Yeah. So I think I agree. Late in the season for a stout, this is pretty good. They could have tried to push this around the dessert stout seasons, which they did a dessert stout too, I think.
And we had their Christmas cookies and everything. So.
Yeah. So I think this was good timing on it. I think that they did a disservice to themselves when they didn't put coffee on the label. As far as on the front label, you had to find it in the back.
I found it on the nose.
Because that has definitely got coffee in it. That is screaming coffee. The coffee comes through more powerfully than the chocolate or even a cakiness for the donut. And if there's truly donuts in the mash, then I didn't get much of that breadiness, that maltiness, that
No biscuity.
No, not I didn't get any
It's like a
biscuity.
biscuity donut.
I didn't get the sweetness that I would have expected from any type of donut, let alone a chocolate donut.
What's next? The beignet Bach?
I think it's a fairly solid stout. If somebody hands it to me, will I say no? No, I'll drink it. I'm not going to reach for it over other stouts we have in the cooler.
I'll throw it in a mixer, especially if I'm hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting multiples in my 6-pack, but I'm glad it's there. It's something to switch it up with.
I will have to say, too, I'm glad that neither one of you chose an IPA this week. I think we've definitely done IPAs every week and to death, and then we got on that hazy stuff, and we've all agreed that we're done with the hazy.
We are. Unfortunately, I might be visiting one next week.
Because the hazies aren't known
But
us.
we have to take a break from them, man.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, as far as the hazies go, we are starting to see brewers that are backing away from it also.
Lager is coming in.
We spoke
Yes,
to,
they read our-
Nick and I spoke to
they've been
one of
watching.
the brewers from Southern Pines.
Oh,
and
man, yeah, that was fun.
They told us how they're basically cutting their hazies for this year in half or more.
Mm-hmm.
If you think us, the drinkers, got sick of hazies, the guys making them had lost their minds over this.
Yeah. So I think that is starting to get to be a something that the fad's going to wear off a little bit. But back to this, to the Sycamore Golden Donuts. I'm going to give this a. I'm going to give this a 1 thumb. I think that it might have been hurt on my ratings just because it followed the brewery one.
Tough end. Yeah.
Also because it was so pronounced in coffee, it just wasn't on the label. I was expecting a chocolate stout, a chocolate doughy stout. Yeah.
I feel like the coffee outdid the Mocha Java from Sugar
Yeah,
Free.
yeah. The coffee was so pronounced and so strong. Not in a bad way. It's just it was more there than what they had labeled. So I'm gonna go with the thumb on that one.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, it's a solid beer. It's tasty.
I'm just making funny stuff.
First thing I have to say is that if you call your beer a donut, stout make it taste like a damn donut. And forgive my French for that one.
Or is it that I can drink it with a donut? Is that what the... Maybe I missed the whole...
I am not dunking a donut in my beer.
Nice usage of brand names.
Dunking. Ging. The G is key. Also, gotta agree with Rob. If it's gonna taste that much like coffee,
Get it on the label.
tell me it's a coffee chocolate stout. I'm cool with that.
It didn't mention coffee at all.
There was coffee.
It mentioned coffee in the little rhyme on the back.
Yeah, look, there's coffee in the back somewhere. There's obviously coffee in this beer.
Yeah, the only place it mentioned was in the rhyme on the back. A baker's dozen, fresh out of the oven, and all the donuts new. Time for the party, so into the mash with coffee and chocolate too.
Yeah, so I mean,
And that's the only place that mentions coffee.
if they did add coffee, then maybe you should buy the straight chocolate donuts from the donut shop and not the coffee chocolate donuts. You know, that's basically what it boils down to. The texture was nice. I mean, the body was nice, but due to the fact that I feel like I'm a victim of false advertising, 3/4 thumb.
Oh!
All right.
Bait switch got Josh down.
So maybe Sycamore's not going to be happy with that rating for us tonight. However,
It's a great beer. I just feel
however,
like
they are going to get linked on it. Maybe they can defend themselves.
Sycamore's very proud of their labels.
I think it's a great beer. I just feel like labeling.
And they've
All right.
even been known to fix their labels.
They have, by hook or by crook.
Oh!
So we're moving on to the Delta Pinot Noir 2017 vintage. Delta's the winery. They do source their grapes from all over California. This is a California Pinot Noir. You will notice it does not have an AVA on it. It does not have Rush River Valley. It does not have Napa, anything like that. It is a California Pinot Noir, $17 a bottle, 13.5% ABV. This is an extracted wine. However, it's not overly or heavily extracted. I think it's probably gone through just 1 or 2 little pulls to get the juice out of it. Tannin structure is still there. It does not come in as the heavy tannins that a French Pinot Noir will, but definitely has more fruit than a French Pinot Noir, but not as much as your overly extracted, juicy, jammy Pinot Noirs from California.
I did what you say there, Rob, because there's...
Nick went on box of socks, but I'll tell you, I'm getting a cedar box, if anything.
Still a box.
Still a box.
Still a box!
But anyway, I'm going to give this a 1.25 thumb. I think this is a solid entry into California style Pinot Noirs that are the rage right now for that type of Pinot Noir. We're talking the overly extracted, the highly extracted, the big juicy jammy stuff. This is a good entry wine into it to get you your foot in the door, so to speak. So I'm going to give it 1.25. 1.25. I'm comfortable with that. Josh?
So as a caveat before I go into this wine right here tastes literally like the reason why I've always told myself I don't like Pinot Noir. And that is a personal palate decision. It's just so being strictly objective and not subjective, like I would be if I was doing that. I have to give this one a solid thumbs up. It's a solid Pinot Noir that a lot of people will like if you pour it at a party, just like all of the other Delta wines we've tried.
I definitely feel
to me,
I agree.
It also has a good cause. This for a charity wine, I guess this is perfect. You can pour it at an event. You can pour it at a party. No one's going to actively say they don't like it because it hits all of the things it should for what the wine is. It's not my personal favorite, but it's nice. I don't hate it. The body's a little light for me. I tend to like a little bit more complexity in my wine. It's very simple.
Yeah.
But the simplicity is nice sometimes. So I have to say, it's very well made, especially for an extract wine, because I've had a lot of extract wine working at a place that has dealt with wines from juice and things like that. And I have seen some stuff that is infinitely more terrible than this. This is really well made, technically awesome. So I got to give it a thumbs up. I can't say anything bad about it. My personal palate, I don't like it, but a lot of people will.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go like thumbs up, but I'm just gonna like bend my knuckle a little bit.
So you really like this then?
I do. I think this has a great drinkability, but there are some things that I noticed that you guys hit on. One of the things is, maybe this is a positive and not actually a negative. So I'm just gonna say it for what it is. I enjoyed this when I first got into it, just as the wine that was in my glass, exactly what it is. I didn't classify it. I didn't even think this is a Pinot. It actually took me about 3 sips to be like, oh, this is a Pinot. I'm not saying it tasted cab or it tasted this way or that way. It was actually just very neutral, very pleasant and drinkable. It wasn't punching fruit in your face. It wasn't punching acid in your face. It's not so thick as to drink like jam, but it has some body. We noticed the big meniscus. The legs hold, but then they fall fast.
Yeah.
So that gets to the extraction note. Yeah, it's got alcohol in it. Would you say 13.5?
13.5.
That's not as big as Pinot can be, but that's pretty big, especially on extracted. So, I do definitely think this is a wine to share with some friends, especially if you're eating on your feet. This is not going to roll over anybody's appetizers or small plates or a amuse-bouche. I think this is the kind of wine that's going to appetize you for something deeper.
Just said eating on your feet, what I drink with this or eat with this? Street tacos.
Yeah.
What kind of meat?
Lingua de vaca.
Barbacoa.
Oh,
Barbacoa, great call.
You get those right across the street. They're really good.
Lingua might be.
I might go with some goat.
Lingua might be a little intense for this.
Yeah. I was thinking probably actually goat tacos would be nice.
Goat's even more intense.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I sorry to interrupt you, Nick. Go ahead and finish your.
Yeah. The smoothness overall, it finishes with a little tannic bite, which kind of. That's where I was like, is this a cab? Is this a Pinot? Is this a cab? Is this a Pinot? So it does. These guys talk about subdued tannins, but they're not totally subdued. It's still got a little Velcro on the tongue, which is nice. But this is not your teeth sucker. And I don't notice extensive barreling here. This is definitely a feature of the fruit. So yeah, get a bottle, share it, and don't be afraid to eat on it.
Yeah.
But probably definitely have something deeper and more intense for the follow-up second glass.
Gotcha. So I think that's going to be all for tonight.
Sure.
I think we had some good choices tonight. So that was episode 38.
That was episode 38.
38.
Just so you guys know. Sorry. Whew.
That's those tannins. I told you they were there.
No, that's the sulfites, the preservatives. Rob did say he'd wear a hat next week.
I did?
Yes.
When?
At some point, like a few days ago.
Oh. Okay. I must not have been conscious, but okay. I guess I've got to wear a hat next week.
So, it's alright, I've got a good one.
Get on YouTube. Let us know what type of hat Rob should be wearing.
No. No. That's not good.
I like this.
Okay. All right. So, Speaking of YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, you got it right.
Follow us on Twitch. We did not have any Twitch joiners this week.
It's all right.
Sometimes we get distracted by them, but hey. But please follow us on YouTube, comment there, or this does get linked to the office Facebook page, and that will be in probably less than an hour.
Oh, yeah.
So we will see you later.
Yeah, but please, if you guys do see us on YouTube, come hang out on Twitch because we enjoy having you around.
We do. Nick, anything from you to finish off?
Oh,
Nope. Okay.
not
Bye.
not this time.
Have a good night, guys.